small business owners and independent contractors. Get affordable insurance with Sagicor Pro Shield. The time by Sagicor Life is
7 o'clock.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, impossible flooding and landslide force closure of Bogwar Gorge as extreme rain batters sections of the island. An environmental crime. Experts lament disaster risk management practices and concerns mount as U.S. continues military strikes in Caribbean waters. Later in Traditional Flavors, we'll tell you what's hopping off the grill at Murray's Jerk. In sports, West Indies turn attention to Bangladesh after Test series loss to India. Hello from Kingston, Jamaica. This is CVM News at 7 for Friday, October 17, 2025. Thanks so much for joining us. I am Curlin Brown. Well, up first this evening, falling boulders triggered by landslides due to extreme rainfall has made the Bogwar Gorge in St. Catherine impassable. The water levels are also rising in the Rio Cobre. The National Works Agency is advising motorists the gorge has been closed to vehicular traffic. As a result, now the NWA says water in the Rio Cobre has risen to dangerous levels, and so no vehicular traffic can use the corridor at this time. Motorists are also advised to use the north-south highway as an alternative. A landslide near the Slagerville Road entrance exit has blocked over 90% of that section of the gorge. Communication and Customer Services Manager at the NWA, Stephen Shaw, says other sections of the island are also experiencing heavy rain.
We want to advise the motoring public to exercise extreme caution in using our main road network at this time. We're getting reports of heavy rainfall right across the country, more so in parishes of St. Catherine, St. Anne, Manchester, sections of Trelawney, St. Thomas. They're having heavy rainfall. As we speak, there is an issue in the Bogwar Gorge. There's a landslide that is impacting the section of the gorge near the Slagerville Road exit entrance. We are also getting report that the water levels in the Rio Cobre, those levels are rising, and so we're watching that.
Now, Mr. Shaw also says responses in some areas experiencing flooding may be delayed due to safety concerns for NWA contractors and other first responders.
As it relates to the landslide, we are assessing it to see what is the best option to treat with it because it continues to rain. The hillside is wet. We have to look at the safety issue as it relates to our stakeholders, our contractors with whom we work. We are also getting reports of landslides impacting the road from Stettin to Highgate Hall in Trelawney. Multiple landslides are there. We understand that power is also out in some areas because of light poles that have been impacted. So we are just advising persons at this time traversing corridors around the country to exercise extreme caution as they do so.
Meanwhile, an environmental crime, that's how some experts are describing what they say is ongoing environmental degradation across Jamaica linked to weak disaster risk management. There's a call for authorities to adopt a sponge city approach to tackle ongoing flooding across the island. Amoy Harriet reports.
$409 million. That's the reported infrastructural damage after 2 days of heavy rains in November 2023. $800 million. The amount in damage schools alone suffered during Hurricane Beryl in July 2024. Months later, in November, Tropical Storm Rafael racked up an estimated $500 million to $1 billion bill. Jamaica suffers hundreds of millions of dollars in infrastructural losses each time severe weather strikes. A major contributing factor, according to disaster risk reduction specialist Dr. Barbara Carby, is continued urban development without adequate consideration for disaster risk management principles.
More from an earthquake perspective, I am concerned about the potential lack of supervision of many of the buildings which are going up. We need to change our philosophy of development. I think if our development is driven by money and profit, it's a totally different approach from if it's driven by the well-being of our citizens and the future of Jamaica looking down the road.
Urban planning consultant Professor Carol Archer, in the meantime, is pointing to the issue of poor solid waste management, which she believes has tainted Jamaica's infrastructural resilience.
And one of the things that the local authorities ought to be doing in terms of future development of its towns and cities is to ensure, work through collaboration with the various agencies, including solid waste, you have the facility that would support the recycling. Right. So it's not just about solid waste alone. Yeah.
Professor Archer is also recommending authorities adopt a sponge city approach.
It was an attempt, or it is an attempt, to manage water in urban spaces, and they've used various means of managing the water. So we talk about rainwater harvesting. When you have paved over areas, water is collected, it filters through the ground, it's collected, it can be reused for potable use, it can be used as grey water. The water is harvested, collected in green spaces.
Meanwhile, Mayor of Maypen, Joel Williams, is appealing for more resources to be pumped into local government to address persisting gully and drainage issues, as he contends this contributes to flooding and other disasters during severe weather events.
Many of these drains were built way back in the 50s,
years ago,
before I was born.
So since
and they are now crumbling. Because of lack of maintenance.
Okay.
Some of them are too small for the magnitude of water that we are having with climate change. Many of these gullies were built out in the 50s. They have now become weak. The walls are breaking apart.
Amoy Hara reporting for CVM News.
To other news now, the latest U.S. airstrike off Venezuela's coast on Tuesday, killing 6 people, including 2 Trinidad and Tobago nationals, is deepening concerns in the region. The U.S. claims the vessel was tied to drug trafficking, but Caribbean leaders and civil rights groups are questioning the legality of the recent attacks and the impact on regional security. Independent defense analyst and consultant Dr. Sanjay Badri Maharaj says there's unease over the use of force evidence, while Secretary of the Left Alliance for National Democracy and Socialism, Christoph Simpson, warns the strikes could set a troubling precedent for future U.S. actions in the region.
The shockwaves from the October 14 airstrike are being felt across the Caribbean. The U.S. Department of Defense said the strike was part of its ongoing campaign against narcotics smuggling in the southern Caribbean. But the attack, which killed all 6 people on board the vessel, among 2 nationals from Trinidad and Tobago, has raised serious questions about due process and regional sovereignty. Independent defense analyst and consultant Dr. Sanjay Badri Maharaj says the lack of evidence to justify the overwhelming use of force has left many fishing communities in Trinidad concerned.
Where you have a situation, you're doing a hard kill against a target. You have no evidence to show that this vessel was in fact carrying drugs or anything illegal for that matter. You may suspect it, you may believe it is true, and it may in fact be true. But you have proved nothing. And in a situation where you have nationals of another country being killed, one that's ostensibly friendly towards the United States, there's going to be some questions being asked.
But Dr. Bajri Maharaj explains that Trinidad has long been under pressure from drug cartels operating out of Venezuela, a reality that has had influence on public reactions to the strike.
On the other hand, Trinidad has been under a lot of pressure from cartels operating out of Venezuela. So on one hand, there is great concern that 2 Trinidadians have been killed. And on the other hand, there is a lot of, there's a view, I don't want to say that it's justifying the American action because that's going a bit far, but there's a view that something had to be done and harsher action against the narco cartels is necessary.
Christoph Simpson, Secretary of the Left Alliance for National Democracy and Socialism Lands, asserts that a U.S. military presence should not be welcome in the region, warning against the potential of similar military strikes becoming normalized.
Now that a drug problem that Trinidad and Tobago may be having is the justification for these military strikes, that brings a lot of concerns after what we've seen. The US has used other things for pretexts that sound legitimate, and they claim to present evidence. In this case, they're not even presenting evidence, but they claim to present evidence. And then we find out after they've started a war, killed hundreds of thousands of people, that, the evidence they presented at first was not so. The thing is, the Caribbean isn't accustomed to war. And I mean, we've spent most of the segment talking about this drug angle, but to some of us, this doesn't seem like it's really about drugs. It seems more like it's about the US just finding some pretext to initiate a war with Venezuela.
Carla Ramdeen, CVM News.
And back home, amid growing concerns about public safety, Councillor for the Hughenden Division, Andrew Harris, is urging residents and law enforcement to strengthen their partnership in the fight against crime. The appeal came during an injunction ceremony where the councillor highlighted the need for a united front to tackle escalating crime in the community. Omari Wilson reports.
Recent spate of multi-victim shootings and chilling murders have threatened to derail the more than 40% drop in murders up to August this year when compared to the similar period in 2024. Speaking at an induction ceremony recently, Councillor for the Hughenden Division, Andrew Harris, appealed to residents and the police to do more to curb crime in the division.
To help us to flush out the criminals who are here, whatever help we can give to the police, we certainly should. There is no two-way about it, and I'm also appealing to the police, in their execution of duty, to handle it with care. So it is a two-way street.
Past student of the Marvally Infant and Junior High School, now founder of the Finding Your Life Foundation, Mrs. Sandra Christie Brown, established a wellness center at the school to address issues affecting both students and local residents.
And my way of giving back to Marvally is starting this wellness center, which is an integral part of the community, not only the school, but the community.
Well, this wellness center is more than welcome. It is going to play a role that is in tandem with what the government is keeping with the whole wellness program.
Councillor Harris says the wellness center is especially important right now.
This is where parents who might have been traumatized and the kids who would have been traumatized through violence or otherwise, this is where their mental wellness starts. They come in, there's a counselor here to bring them back to some sort of a semblance.
Councillor Harris says despite the current effort, more is needed.
Done a lot of work with my team. We have cleaned the incinerator. We have put an air conditioner into the principal's office. We have done electrical work. We have done work in the yard to make it close to what it is now. We've done a garden. There are so many projects that we have done. We have been a part of the breakfast program. So there's a lot of things that we've done. We have been awarding students with bursaries to help them in high school. So we have done quite a lot.
What we need in the community is more participation of not only community stakeholders, but also elected officials.
Omari Wilson, CVM News.
Do stay with us for more right after this.
school is free of unhealthy, ultra-processed products. You know, those high in salt, fats, and sugar. If only that weren't a dream. The reality is that many children have an unhealthy diet at school, and 23% of them are overweight or obese. This can lead to hypertension, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes. Let's protect our children's right to health with a policy for schools that prevents unhealthy food marketing and ensures access to nutritious foods. The time is now. Let's implement the National School Nutrition Policy. A message from the Heart Foundation of Jamaica and partners.
It's time.
Welcome to High School Pitchside. We have another fascinating episode for you.
More matches, more big clashes.
Let's talk about some of the big rivalries coming up this week.
More of your favorite features.
And trust me, you won't fall asleep in this history class.
And of course, we always want to hear from you.
Hear from your alma mater's players and coaches in Team Talk.
You know we can't leave you out. So send us your messages on social media and watch us react on FanView.
And you know we love a good little debate, right, Gio? We've got you covered all season long on High School Pitchside.
High School Pitchside, your ultimate guide to all things schoolboy football, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
Welcome back. A tense situation unfolded in a community in Hanover Friday morning, where a longtime homeowner and her family found themselves in a standoff with the police and a bailiff team, which attempted to serve what she describes as an illegal eviction notice. Well, the dispute, which has roots in a family feud, has now spilled into the public eye, raising questions about property rights and legal procedures. With more details, here's Akeem Oret.
A morning of chaos and confusion for one Hanover family. What was meant to be a peaceful day in Hopewell Farm turned into a scene of confrontation as police, lawyers and a bailiff team arrived at the home of Gloria Phillips to serve an eviction notice. Mrs. Phillips told CVM News the land and house predicament started as a family feud.
After my husband dead, this is what me they go through. Me living in no peace. I want to take away my house. I want to take away my lift pad just through the sea. For this, I can't get money for the sea.
Now, Mrs. Phillips, who has since lived on the property from 1984, has a herd of cows and other animals. Her only option was to take the matter to court.
We are in court. And the judge told us, that was last year, May 1924. He just told us that Craig Phillips must pay us for the value of our house, the farm, everything that you have on the farm, must pay us for it.
Having taken the matter to court, she was told everything on the property should be valued. However, she told CVM News she waited for the other party to show up, but they didn't. She went and had it valued by herself.
And when I value the place, I get $52 million for the place. So that's what it valued for, $52 million. The judge did, I take it to the lawyer and the lawyer sent it to them. The judge said 90 days, Craig must pay me the money for the land. In this case, 90 days for the house. And he gave me 1 year to move off after the 90 days.
Despite following the process and waiting for over 90 days, she says the issue remains unresolved.
The 90 days come and then I carry no money come. No money in turn to my lawyer and say, I'm going to negotiate. I'm going to give me another piece of land over there, so, and build back my house. I turn to him and say, I will accept the land, but I will build my house myself. I want the same builder to build it because I know how I build my house.
Now, decades after settling and raising her family on the Hopewell Farm property, Mrs. Phillips finds herself living in uncertainty.
I have no if I come, I get no money. To go buy back salon, I forget my money to go buy salon and build back my house and buy one house. When I move go.
She's calling on the government to assist her in this legal battle. She insists she's standing her ground and has no plans to leave the place she has called home for more than 4 decades. Reporting for CVM News, I am Akeem Oret.
The Kingston and St Andrew Municipal Corporation says it's moving ahead with plans to expand parking across the corporate area, particularly for public transport operators. Drivers have been complaining bitterly, arguing the limited space designated for parking makes it difficult for them to do their jobs without running afoul of the law. Amoy Harriet tells us more.
Scrambling for space, a daily struggle for motorists in the corporate area. For many drivers, finding a free, legal parking spot is as elusive as finding gold. In recent years, public passenger vehicle PPV drivers in particular have been complaining bitterly for more parking spaces around the corporate area.
Although they now have on the route taxi sign on them, they still have nowhere to park, and that to us or to me, it's illegal.
The transport operators say the daily hunt for parking has become a test of patience and pockets. On some routes, drivers operate without designated transport centers to load and offload passengers, often forcing them to park illegally. They're constantly ticketed by the police for this.
And this is what is causing a major eruption, may I use that word, in KMTR. They're getting the tickets. They get a new mandate. The mandate is not working because you have two agencies that is not pulling. The tickets and the summons are there for the operators. One of my senior presidents who would never come to this meeting, we agreed to come, he would never turn up because he was behind bars for an entire weekend.
Speaking at a meeting with transport stakeholders on Wednesday, Mayor of Kingston, Andrew Swaby, said the Kingston and St Andrew Municipal Corporation, KSAMC, is already looking into some areas where additional parking spaces can be created in downtown Kingston.
We have identified 3 areas. It's South Parade, right by the Kingston Parish Church, would have given up that side. There's only to retrofit a certain thing. We would have indicated that the Upper King Street, I think, is about 20 vehicles. 20 vehicles could have parked there, reserve it for thing, get the taximen in a queue and move forward. And the Pitchan Street car park, transport center. There's space also. I would love to see where we can talk about metered parking.
Mr. Swaby said it's especially important to address the matter now, as Kingston is expected to see an increased flow of visitors heading into the Christmas season.
We are embarking on some projects that would have helped to pull more persons downtown during this season, especially during the slow period just before, like first 2 weeks of December, to attract persons, because it will all go down for the betterment of the economy.
Amoy Harriet for CVM News.
Now, as road fatalities continue to increase, there are growing calls for the government to install more sleeping policemen across Jamaica to curb speeding and protect pedestrians. However, Vice Chairman of the National Road Safety Council, Dr. Lucian Jones, says while speed humps are important, they're not enough on their own to make Jamaica's roads safer. Kevin Black picks up on that report.
Injuries on our roads and deaths on our roads, as grievous as that is. But it's affecting our constant ability to develop and grow.
Island-wide, residents say speeding and careless driving are putting lives at risk and they want action. Many communities are calling for the installation of more speed humps, also known as sleeping policemen, to force motorists to slow down. Vice Chairman of the National Road Safety Council, Dr. Lucian Jones, shares why it has taken so long to address these concerns in some areas.
It's not a sleeping policeman now. It's a problem to do with what we call having safe roads. The National Road Safety Council follows the WHO mandate, which calls for a safe systems approach to road safety. And safe roads is one of 5 components. And this is the responsibility of the NAA. And it has fallen literally on deaf ears. So this is something we've been talking about for a long time.
Dr. Jones also explains the effectiveness of these speed humps as a long-term solution.
The long-term solution to speeding is really to effectively roll out the provisions of the Road Traffic Act, which includes rolling out the the demerit point system, about which we've been talking for some time now. And unless you have a sanctions regime which is swift and sure and punitive, and that people feel it in their pockets, and the demerit point system is one such part of the sanctions regime. The other part, of course, is the fines. And if you don't pay a fine, you get a ticket. You go to the court. If you don't go to the court, you get a warrant for your arrest.
He also underscores how public awareness campaigns can potentially change the culture of speeding and recklessness on Jamaica's roads, adding emphasis must be placed on young drivers.
Well, public education campaign has a role in ensuring that there is awareness, there is public advocacy, but it has been done in conjunction with increased enforcement. The data is showing very clearly you can't have one without the other. It's not as effective. You're wasting money. So we need to have public education, yes, but it also needs to be part of a wider campaign to increase enforcement. When you have those things acted in tandem, then you have better results. People's behavior change. You have increased road safety. You have less deaths and you have less injuries.
Kevin Blackford, CVM News.
It is not only a matter of...
Now, a video showing street vendors in Portland climbing ladders to serve their student customers through a school fence has sparked debate about safety and security. While some see humor and ingenuity in the action of the adults, others say it highlights deeper economic struggles. Our reporter Kevin Black was also there firsthand, and he filed this report.
This is how we have to climb on the ladder up at the wall, and enough time we drop off at the ladder.
A video surfaced recently on social media where we see vendors who operate in front of Fair Prospect High in Portland climbing a ladder over a wall to gain access to students to sell their goods. CVM News went on location to speak to the vendors and to find out exactly what's happening.
If you go up on the ladder, me no have a problem with going on the ladder still because I know say you living on friend and certain things I do for you know, and thief make a living on me proud of you know. Me proud of you. Cause me send me 5 pitney school out of same Fair Prospect school gate where me a sell. So me not have a problem selling on the ladder right now. And me enjoy that right now. If you earn $1. He make me be a woman because me have my little daughter carry from him at 2 and now him at 28. She at 28 now. And a long time me there so I sell. And today, me I foundation at school get me and Keisha right now.
Me come out here come sell. Me no have no problem with nothing. Me come and me see everybody a climb wall. Me climb wall too. Me climb the wall, me sell, me come down back. Me go inside already and me ask one teacher inside say, if we could have get put up 4 shed because of 4 we out here a sell and them charge we for the shed them. And them said no.
Despite the public attention, the vendors say the ladders were never meant to cause harm and that their long-standing relationships with students keep their businesses alive.
Sometimes they thief me, sometimes they come and say they want breakfast, sometimes they want, me have to trust them drinks, me have to give them fear for go home and something. And me enjoy working with them whatsoever. Me don't really have a problem otherwise. But the problem is the ladder when me climb, because I'll climb the ladder and drop off a ladder up there.
But I would like some assistance that we could get to go inside and sell. I will pay them a money month in time.
They also demonstrated how they would typically climb the ladder on a regular basis.
Yes, this is how we have to climb on the ladder up at the wall. And enough time me drop off at the ladder. And pick up things them turn over and me have to pick up and go again. Because this is the way this we live in. We don't have no other way. And we help out to pick them more time. Enough time they don't have no fear. Enough time they don't eat breakfast. And we then come to a way to figure them.
But the school's principal has concerns.
The situation with them is that they don't really have access to the school compound. And so that is where they go to sell their wares. They would have applied to the school board for access. The school board would have denied them some time ago. And the goods that some of them sell is not what would want for the children to consume. Because the government, through the Ministry of Education, is against sweet drink. And they sell those sort of drinks that is not allowed for the children.
More from the principal in CVM News Sunday. I am Kevin Black reporting for CVM News.
Let's see what Jordan Ford has in store for us when it comes on to sports. Hey, Jordan.
Hi, Caroline. Well, you know what? The West Indies are embarking on another series. They're coming off a tough 2-0 loss to India in a test series, but now they'll play Bangladesh in a white ball series. They're starting with the ODIs. The first of 3 ODIs gets going tomorrow early in the morning Jamaica time. So you'll have to wake up early to see that. Plus, we're talking schoolboy football. CVM TV's live coverage of the Issa Da Costa Cup continues tomorrow. Manchester High facing Glenmuir High in a big match. So we're talking about that as well. And plus, we'll have the winner's edge with Rowan Daly.
Definitely. Stay where you are. We'll be back right after this.
Hi! Now you can find your favorite chicken and snacks in the same place. Come on in.
Introducing the delicious combination of KFC fried chicken and Doritos nacho cheese. The KFC Doritos Zinger, a crunch that's finger-licking.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes. Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
The new KFC Doritos Zinger, a combo that's finger-licking good. The time by KFC is
7:30.
One money, 2 combo. Burger King pick 2, come back again. Yo, that is it. Any 2 combo, double deal. It's a good look, pick any 2 you wish. Whopper Junior bacon and cheese, my favorite. American chicken sandwich or grab a big fish. Plus 2 small fries and 2 small drink. Double deal for my money and it have me a sing. One money, 2 combo. Burger King pick 2, come back again. Yo, get BK double deal now on a Burger King. Burger King pick 2, come back again. Yo.
As we welcome you back, let's go hunting with traditional flavors, not in the woods, but to a street-side establishment in Clarendon where the menu dares you to try something else with original herbs and spices, which are all Jamaican. It's tender meat. It's a delicacy in some cuisines. It's cute and even quirky, taking on pet names like Daisy and Nibbles.
The myth as it being a pet is long gone. It's now a staple meat, right? And it's a real good staple meat. It infuses the seasonings and the flavors and the herbs and the spices very well.
Well, Murray's Fish and Jerk Hut at Clarendon Park. Clarendon prides itself for offering the finest Jamaican jerk. And according to the general manager, Gregory Less, the clientele demand confirms that status.
We have the rabbit every day of the year. The only day we're not open is Christmas Day.
How coincidental, the day we visited was special for owner-operator Courtney Murray.
Happy birthday, happy boss!
Boy.
At work with some of his favorite people, as he calls them, the ones who start the fire long before the customers come, as he keeps alive his parents' treasured down-to-earth ideas.
My parents were fish farmers, and that's how we actually got into the restaurant business, by trying to sell what we grew. You know, there's a stigma attached to freshwater fish, and but they used to entertain a lot.
Murray's curried goat became a household name, so too the jerk, fish, chicken and pork. But why rabbit?
You have rabbit farmers in Jamaica. We're always trying to support our local farmers, you know. And we thought it was different, and it has done really, really well. It's supposed to be a healthier meat than chicken. Everything in the food business, well, any business at all, it's all about consistency. And and that includes our suppliers. And over the years, we've built up a level of trust with our suppliers to ensure that we get the best quality. So we have a person who supplies us with our rabbit, and he knows both the type of rabbits, because they're different breeds, the age of the rabbit, to ensure that the rabbits are being fed properly, so that at the end of the day you get the best quality.
It was hard to miss the youngest member on staff, so to speak.
Hi, my name is Janet Aaron. I am from the Kempsey High School. I am here at Maurice doing my internship. This is my first week and it's going good so far. The workers here are helping me to understand do's and the don'ts when you go out into the work field.
We have several high schools in Clarendon who it's a part of the curriculum to get job experience, to kind of see what fields they may want to go into. So they're always welcome here. We have students from Heart Academy who come for job experience, from our high schools who are probably doing food and nutrition, and Maurice has always been an outlet for them to come and get that experience.
This youngster has never had rabbit meat.
I think it's going to taste like pork, just a little bit like pork. I'm not sure. But...
Will she pass the test next time? Let's check out what's happening on the international scene. The United Nations estimates 55 million tons of debris must be cleared before reconstruction efforts in Gaza can commence. In Gaza City alone, over 80% of buildings have been damaged following relentless bombardment during the recent conflict. The details from Al Jazeera.
Everywhere you look in Gaza, the devastation is overwhelming. Mountains of rubble line the streets. The remains of homes, schools, and entire neighborhoods that have been flattened by months of bombardment. Clearing the destruction is a massive challenge. There's simply not enough heavy machinery to remove tons of debris scattered across the city. Most of the cleanup done by hand. People are using basic tools and sometimes their bare hand to clear what used to be their home. For a lot of people returning to this area, it's unrecognizable. We ran to people who were searching for their homes. Literally, they could not locate where their homes used to be. Very difficult to comprehend that this just happened to this small city. A whole entire city has been reduced into a pile of rubble, as you see.
Every day, we face the fear of what might be hidden under the debris. Every day, our family members displaced in southern Gaza call us to ask when they will be able to return. We tell them to wait and be patient. There are no equipment, machines, and no water sources.
And yet, despite the massive challenges, families continue to return to their homes and very much determined to rebuild their shattered lives from the ruins. Their resilience stands in stark contrast to the grinding, slow recovery efforts. In Gaza, the bombing may have stopped, but the struggle to clear its aftermath is only beginning.
And we'll continue with all sports after this.
Hi! Now you can find your favorite chicken and snacks in the same place. Come on in.
Introducing the delicious combination of KFC fried chicken and Doritos nacho cheese. The KFC Doritos Zinger, a crunch that's finger-licking